Hello, class. I want to talk to you today about the crisis at our border. Um, I believe that the reason we have a crisis at our border currently is because our current president, Joe Biden, has orchestrated it that way. And when I say that, one of the ways that he did that is in his first few months in office, he reversed all of Trump's orders. When Donald Trump was our president, he had our borders secured. He was building a wall. He was putting America first, trying to keep our imports in our country and do less exporting so that we could increase our revenue and our stock market would go up. And Biden reversed all of that, one of those being our open borders. And unfortunately, what's happening is because all of these people know that they can come in at any time and they won't be sent back and they won't be deported. In fact, they'll be given free health care and they'll be given free food and they'll be given free housing. They're coming over in swarms. And there are Haitian immigrants, there are Honduran immigrants, there are Mexican, there are Afghanistan immigrants. And that really puts our country at risk because we're not vetting these people. We don't have the resources to take care of them. For example, right now there are 12,000 illegal immigrants underneath the bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Del Rio, Texas only has a population of 35,000. So they are taxing all the resources from these American people who have a right to be here because they've been born here, not to mention what it's doing to our border patrol, our police officers, and they're not getting any help from the Democratic Party or the Biden administration because they orchestrated it this way in order to increase their voter base. They want illegals here and they want to give them all of this state assistance so that when it comes time to vote, they'll vote Democrat. It's pretty sad actually because we're the ones that suffer because COVID is coming over here in by the multitude. Like I said, they're not being vetted, they're not being screened properly. And it's very easy for a terrorist to take the cover, conceal themselves in these groups, claiming that they're fleeing oppression, and then attack us from within our own homeland. But technically, why would they want to do that, especially if they were ISIS or the Taliban? Because Joe Biden also left $9 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan and pulled all of our soldiers out. And so we basically just handed them over all the weaponry they will ever need to completely decimate our homeland. And so that is another thing that Joe Biden has done because Joe Biden does not have the best interest of the American people. And it's unfortunate. But one of those fallouts is the open border crisis and how much that is affecting us and how, especially the state of Texas. Governor Abbott has said he does not want this to continue, but he has no support, and he should, because a state level government and a federal level government working together can be cohesive for the best interest of the people. But when you have the federal government not supporting the state and the state not supporting the government, that's where you get that disconnect. And unfortunately, we are all the ones suffering. And so are the legal immigrants. They're underneath the bridge. There's not enough resources to feed them. They're bringing over babies and infants. People are getting sick. People are being raped. Children are being kidnapped and trafficked, and all of this is going on, not to mention the amount of drugs that have been smuggled over and continue to be smuggled over, and we just don't have the resources to be able to care for all these people at one time. I mean, half of the population of Del Rio, of the American population, that half of that number is illegal immigrants underneath their bridge right now. And where do you think all that trash is going? Where's the feces going? Where's the urine going? I mean, you've got blood and you've got sweat and you've got body fluids and it's a very dangerous environment and it's not healthy or safe for anyone. And if Joe Biden really cared about people, then he would stop this from happening so that people can come in properly and legally, and we have the resources to care for them because we're expecting them. And they go through the proper channels just like everyone else should have to do. That's my opinion on the border, and unfortunately, I think it's just going to continue to get worse. So it's a good thing we have our faith because we know that this is in God's hands, and we can only do what we can do. But His will be done.